Okay, let's dive right into this. If you've spent, any time at all on the fringes of internet gaming culture, you've definitely encountered something that sounds like pure, nonsensical chaos. We're talking a literal wall of screaming, sirens, and random meme sound bites. Well, today, in this explainer, we're going to look at a prime example of this phenomenon, a wildly modded gameplay transcript titled Superheroes on a Motorcycle Ride Over the Sea Along the Supper and Spider-Man Bridge GTA 5. Our goal? We're going to extract the hidden brilliance and the underlying structure of modern algorithmic gaming content right out of all this auditory madness.
Here's the roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the modded GTA phenomenon, break down the anatomy of the chaos, look at the relentless LSPD pursuit, dive into the memes and sound bites, and finally, decode the infinite gameplay loop. Let's get right to it.
All right, Section 1, the modded GTA phenomenon, or as I like to call it, keywords as content. Superheroes on a motorcycle ride over the sea along the Supper and Spider-Man Bridge GTA 5. Wow. I mean, that's not just a title describing a story, right? It's literally a search engine optimized incantation. It's a massive string of high-value keywords. Superheroes, motorcycles, Spider-Man, GTA 5, all just mashed together. It acts as a gateway designed purely by and for the algorithm to attract millions of viewers to a completely chaotic obstacle course, rather than any sort of cohesive narrative. It tells you exactly what kind of hyper-stimulating ride you're in for. And this brings us to the core of what we're actually looking at today. Pure sensory overload. Forget traditional storytelling with a neat beginning, middle, and end. This is a relentless barrage of disconnected sound bites. Words like Yahoo, faster, bingo, mixed with blaring sirens just crashing into each other. It is engineered specifically for maximum viewer retention, keeping the brain so constantly stimulated that you literally cannot look away. Moving right along to Section 2, Anatomy of the Chaos, focusing on emotional whiplash. To really grasp this chaos, we've got to break down the wild psychological swings the player broadcasts literally every few seconds. Take this quote, "Oh God, please no, no." This line gets screamed right in the middle of a sea of otherwise joyful, victorious exclamations. It represents a sudden, catastrophic failure on this incredibly treacherous bridge. 1 second everything is perfectly fine, and the very next, this perfectly highlights the deadpan juxtaposition of the whole thing. Check this out. 1 second, you've got supreme confidence. Yahoo target locked, the player is totally in control. But then, blink and you miss it, immediate disaster strikes. Oh shit, not good. You are either an invincible superhero effortlessly speeding over the ocean, or you are immediately plummeting into the sea. There is absolutely no in-between here. So, by looking at these outbursts as actual hard data, we can map out the emotional rhythm that keeps viewers so incredibly hooked. The content is essentially cycling through 3 distinct states. Triumph with shouts of bingo and incredible, sudden panic with screaming like hot, hot, hot or help me, and finally, grounding memes like get that garbage out of here. It simply never lets the viewer's brain rest. Okay, Section 3, the LSPD pursuit, or the inescapable antagonist. Now, while the player's busy dodging traps and, literal zombies on this bridge, a really clear central conflict emerges from the threat environment. The Los Santos Police Department, the LSPD, is the overwhelming antagonist here, making up a massive 70% of the threats. They are this inescapable presence in an otherwise utterly lawless, physics-defying modded world.
And they definitely make their presence known. Stop your car now, this is the LSPD. I mean, this highly authoritative, totally deadpan command hilariously interrupts the whole superhero fantasy, right? You've got Spider-Man on a motorcycle doing backflips over the ocean, and suddenly a completely standard, monotone traffic cop demands you pull over. It forcefully grounds the total absurdity back into the established, rigid rules of the GTA universe.
In our source material, that exact demand, "Stop your car now, this is the LSPD," is triggered at least 12 distinct times. 12! It really highlights the relentless, almost robotic nature of the virtual police. Because no matter how absurd the situation gets, the algorithm just keeps spawning the LSPD to try and impose some kind of order on the absolute chaos. This leads us to Sections 4, Memes and Soundbites, which is basically an internet culture injection. So, right in the middle of all the engine noises and police sirens, we get the completely unexplained arrival of these random pop culture references. We're talking Shrek quotes like, "What are you doing in my swamp?" Classic GTA San Andreas nostalgia with, "Ah shit, here we go again." These sudden audio drops act as quick, highly recognizable dopamine hits for the viewer. They layer a shared internet language directly over the immediate high-stakes gameplay, basically winking at the audience to let us know we're all in on the joke together.
Which brings us to one of the most repeated phrases in the source, "Okay, go stupid." If you don't know, this is an internet slang imperative used to kick off some high-energy, reckless action. It is absolutely fascinating to hear a player almost academically use this as a literal tactical command right before launching their motorcycle over a massive gap. It completely elevates internet slang into a functional gaming mechanic.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 5, the infinite gameplay loop and this cycle of chaos. So, how does this whole crazy thing tie together? Well, all these elements actually form a highly repetitive, almost hypnotic micro-narrative. The life cycle of a single, chaotic encounter on this bridge lasts exactly 5 seconds. Check it out. Second 1, target locked. You're in control. Second 2, LSPD warning. Conflict gets introduced. Second 3, it's a trap. Boom, disaster strikes. Second 4, get that garbage out of here. A meme diffuses the tension. And second 5, here we go again. The loop seamlessly restarts. This proves that what sounds like utter noise is actually a tightly compressed, perfectly paced story loop specifically designed to hold your attention hostage. But what exactly happens when that carefully constructed loop breaks? Well, 88. That is the staggering number of times the word wait is screamed in the source transcript, usually fired off in rapid succession, like wait, 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 wait. It represents genuine panic. When the memes fail, when the LSPD actually catches up, or when the motorcycle flies off the bridge, the player's algorithmic facade entirely drops, and we get 88 distinct instances of pure, unadulterated panic as the gameplay loop breaks down completely. Visualizing this primal vocabulary really drives the point home. Go is by far the highest volume word, representing that extreme forward momentum. No is close behind, representing immediate disaster. And wait is basically the friction between the two. This entire form of media is designed around hyperstimulation, oscillating wildly between extreme speed and immediate panic, with barely a fraction of a second to breathe. So here's the crucial question I want to leave you with today. Does this frantic, algorithmic barrage of catchphrases, this highly structured 5-second emotional whiplash loop, does it represent the ultimate future of hyper-efficient digital entertainment? Or is it just a beautifully absurd, fleeting moment of internet madness? I'll leave you to ponder that the next time you find yourself entirely mesmerized by an algorithmically generated superhero on a motorcycle, desperately fleeing the LSPD over the open sea. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the chaos.